Living with a narcissistic partner isn't just challenging, it can change the way you see yourself and the world. In today's video, we're exploring the deep, long-term impacts of being in a relationship with a narcissistic wife. From emotional tolls to psychological scars, we're covering it all. Make sure to stick around for the bonus tip at the end of this video, as it really is a game changer. 1. Constant self-doubt. Imagine waking up every day feeling like you can't do anything right. That's the daily grind when you're living with someone who's always on your case, making you second-guess your every move. It's like walking on eggshells, but the eggshells are in your mind, and every step is a reminder that you might just not be good enough. That's what constant self-doubt feels like, and it's a common guest in the lives of folks who've been with a narcissistic partner. Now here's the thing. This self-doubt doesn't just pop up overnight. It builds up, slowly but surely, like a leaky faucet dripping away at your confidence. When your opinions are brushed off or your achievements are downplayed time and again, it starts to wear you down. You begin to wonder, am I really that out of touch? Is it me who's got it all wrong? And before you know it, you're questioning your worth over even the smallest things. But here's a little ray of sunshine in that stormy sky. Recognizing this pattern is the first step out of that doubt spiral. It's about catching those moments when you're doubting yourself and asking, wait, is this really me talking? Or is it just the echo of all that negativity I've been living with? This is where you start to pick up those pieces of your confidence and glue them back together, piece by piece. It's not about proving anything to anyone else, but reminding yourself of your strengths, your worth, and the fact that you've got this, despite what anyone else might say. And trust me, once you start on that path, the journey gets a tad bit easier. So keep an eye out for those doubt traps, and remember, it's okay to trust your gut again. 2. Loss of identity. Ever feel like you're just going through the motions, playing a part in someone else's script? That's what it's like when you lose yourself in trying to keep up with the demands of a narcissistic wife. It's like you're constantly trying to mold yourself into this ideal version she's got in her head, and in the process, you start forgetting who you really are. You used to have hobbies, passions, things that made your eyes light up. Remember those? It starts off small. Maybe you stop hanging out with your friends as much because she doesn't like them, or you give up on your weekend hikes because she thinks they're a waste of time. Bit by bit, the things that were once a part of your identity fade away until one day, you look in the mirror and realize you don't recognize the person staring back at you. Finding your way back to yourself is like rediscovering an old friend. It's about reconnecting with those parts of you that got lost along the way. Maybe it's picking up that guitar gathering dust in the corner, or calling up those friends you haven't seen in ages. It's about doing things for you, not because someone else wants or expects you to. Reclaiming your identity is about remembering what it feels like to make decisions for yourself, to live for yourself. It's a journey, sure, but every step you take back towards yourself is a little victory. And trust me, it's worth it. 3. Emotional exhaustion. You know that feeling when your phone's battery is at 1% and you're nowhere near a charger? That's a bit what emotional exhaustion feels like after being with a narcissistic wife. It's like no matter how much you give, it's never enough, and you're left running on empty, trying to keep up with her endless needs and demands. This kind of drain doesn't just happen. It's the result of a constant cycle of highs and lows, where one minute you're on top of the world, and the next you're wondering what you did wrong. It's like being in an emotional tug-of-war where the rules keep changing. You're always trying to find solid ground, but it feels like you're standing on quicksand. But here's the thing. Realizing that you're emotionally tapped out is the first step towards recharging your batteries. It's about setting boundaries for yourself and understanding that it's okay to say, I need a break. This isn't about giving up. You're just taking care of you. It's about finding those things that fill you up again, whether it's a quiet walk in the park, jamming out to your favorite tunes, or just taking a moment to breathe. Remember, it's not selfish to take care of your emotional well-being. In fact, it's necessary. You can't pour from an empty cup, and trying to do so isn't good for you or anyone around you. So take that step back, find your peace, and slowly but surely, you'll start to feel like yourself again. If you're finding this video helpful, hit that like button, drop a comment, or share this video. It's not just about spreading the word. It's about finding your tribe. You're not alone in this, and every click helps build a community that gets it. 4. Social isolation. Ever noticed how your world starts to shrink when you're with someone who's all take and no give? That's what happens when you're tied up with a narcissistic wife. It's like she's got this invisible fence around you, cutting you off from your squad, your family, and even your casual coffee buddies. Before you know it, your social circle is as small as it gets, and you're left wondering, where did everyone go? This isn't just about missing a few hangouts or skipping a couple of group chats. It's about how, slowly but surely, you're nudged to sideline your people for the sake of keeping the peace at home. Maybe she didn't like your best friend's jokes, or maybe she thought your work pals were a bad influence. Whatever the reason, the end game is you, feeling like you're on an island all by yourself. But here's the silver lining. Those bridges you think you burned, they're still there, and it's never too late to start rebuilding. Reaching out might feel like climbing a mountain at first, but you'd be surprised how many folks are waiting on the other side, ready to welcome you back. It's about taking that first step, sending that "hey, long time" text, or showing up at that old meetup spot. Rekindling those connections is like finding your way back to the world. It's a reminder that despite everything, you're not alone. Each "welcome back, buddy," or "we missed you" is a step out of that isolation and a step back into the rich, colorful life you once had. So go ahead, reach out. Your people are waiting. 5. Difficulty trusting others. Getting burned once can make you twice shy, right? That's what happens when you've been in the thick of it with a narcissistic wife. You start to see shadows where there's just light, reading between lines that aren't even there. Suddenly, everyone's motives are up for question because, let's face it, you've seen how charming someone can be while leading you down a not-so-rosy path. It's like you've got this filter now, a lens that tints everything with a hint of skepticism. And can you be blamed? When you've been played like a fiddle, trusting again feels like walking through a minefield blindfolded. Every new person you meet, there's this nagging voice asking, what if they're just like her? But not everyone's out to get you. Taking that leap of faith back into trust isn't about forgetting the past. You are learning from it. Understand that one person's actions don't define the rest of the world. Sure, it's easier said than done, but take those baby steps, like dipping your toes back into the water instead of diving head first. Building trust is like building muscle. It takes time and effort. It's about setting those boundaries, listening to your gut, and giving people a chance to show their true colors. And most importantly, it's about giving yourself the grace to heal at your own pace. Remember, it's okay to take it slow. After all, the best relationships, be they friendships or more, are built on a foundation of trust that's laid brick by brick, with patience and understanding. 6. Impact on parenting and family dynamics. When you're caught up with your narcissistic wife, it's not just the two of you in that whirlwind. The ripples spread out, touching everyone around, especially if you've got kids in the mix. It's like the whole family's riding this emotional roller coaster, but no one's really enjoying the ride. You might find yourself playing peacekeeper, trying to shield the little ones from the ups and downs. Or maybe you're struggling to maintain some semblance of normalcy amidst the chaos. This isn't just about who takes the kids to soccer practice or who's helping with homework tonight. It's deeper. It's about how the kids see and understand relationships. They're like sponges, soaking up everything around them, and you want to be sure they're getting the right lessons. It's tough when they're witnessing conflict, manipulation, or even just the silent tension that can fill a room. But here's where the plot can twist in a good way. This is your cue to step up, not just as a parent, but as a role model. It's about showing the kids that, despite the storms, you can navigate your way to calmer waters. It's teaching them about respect, boundaries, and the kind of love that doesn't come with conditions or strings attached. And yeah, it's about those heart-to-heart talks, where you listen more than you speak, where you reassure them that no matter what, they're loved and valued just for being themselves. It's in these moments that you're not just patching up the cracks, you're building a stronger foundation, one that's going to hold steady long after the storm has passed. So, keep those lines of communication open, and remember, in your family's story, everyone's voice matters. Before we wrap this up, I've got a nugget of wisdom that might just change the game for you. It's all about self-reflection. Now, I'm not talking about staring at yourself in the mirror, though a little self-love never hurt anyone. I'm talking about taking a step back and really looking at your journey, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Don't start pointing fingers or dwelling on the past, but understand your own role in the dance, recognizing the patterns that might have led you down this path, and most importantly, figuring out how you can move forward, wiser and stronger. It's like putting together a puzzle, where each piece is a lesson learned, a moment of growth. And sure, it might not always be pretty, but when you finally see the big picture, it's worth every second, so take that time to reflect, to grow, and to embrace the journey ahead. After all, the only way out is through, and trust me, you've got what it takes to make it to the other side. Are you ready to learn more about the dynamics of living with a narcissist? Watch our video on how to reclaim your emotional independence, or reveal the false promises she will make to keep you around. I hope you find our videos helpful. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more.